Welcome to the Wednesday Match Play, your weekly connection to the biggest and best brands in golf. On this show you will learn more about the latest golf fashion trends, hear from LPGA and PGA Tour players, get advice on planning your next golf getaway, and much more. Broadcasting live from Palm Desert, California, now on the tee, Ricky Potts.
For more than 4 decades, Heritage Creations has helped the nation's most distinguished clubs honor their legacy and elevate the member experience. Heritage creates innovative awards for signature events and custom pieces that reflect each club's unique identity. From complete clubhouse transformations to experiential environments and Heritage interactive touchscreens, every solution is designed to inspire, engage, and endure. Heritage Creations is a proud sponsor of the PGA of America and the California and Florida chapters of CMAA.
ChipIn Golf combines golf, technology, competition, and giving back. Using an iPhone, real golf club, and ball, golfers can compete in skill-based games and contests while supporting charitable causes. It's a fresh approach to making golf more interactive, accessible, and impactful. In this episode of the Wednesday Match Play podcast, powered by Heritage Creations USA, Igor introduces us to ChipIn and explains how the platform works and how you can get involved. He breaks down the hardware needed to play, just how accurate the technology is, and how AI is integrated into the experience. Igor also discusses ChipIn's customer support, his connection to Dr. Rob Bell, and introduces us to his team. This was a technological conversation, and an honor to have Igor back on the show. Let's tee off. Man, this is going to be fun. It has been a couple of years since you were on this show promoting Golf Track, but you're still out there fighting the good fight and growing the game, man. But Igor, welcome back to the Wednesday Match Play podcast, this time powered by Heritage Creations USA.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't believe it's been 2 years. That's crazy.
Well, not only 2 years, I went back into the archives. It was August of 2024. This episode airs in August of 2026. I mean, should I just put you on the schedule for August of 2028?
Yeah. I'll see you in 28, right?
That's awesome. But, the last time we spoke, Golf Track was the focus. Today, we're here to talk about ChipIn, and I actually chipped in a few weeks ago, for what that were, maybe just teeing it up for this conversation. But for those that are unfamiliar with ChipIn, what exactly is it?
So it's a philanthropic gamification platform. It takes sort of the fun of imagine like the Top Golf games, as well as being able to bet on kind of the games as such, or play, not really betting because it's a game of skill, but you buy in, you can win prizes, but the best part is that the money goes, or a large portion of the money goes to charity. So it goes to causes, it goes to charities. It could be to your charity, to a cause, or like a global, like American Cancer Society. It's been a really amazing journey, kind of getting to that space. But it's not just like Golf Track separate to ChipIn. We've actually brought the two companies together because these games were, you could go to like a Top Tracer range and play them. And then when I met the guys, they saw Golf Track and they were like, "Oh my God, we can take this anywhere. You could play this in your backyard, in your front porch, in the car park of your school, in the park, wherever." And that's kind of how we brought it together, and that's what it is.
Well, that's awesome, and we're going to talk about that connection and how Golf Track got involved, and where did the idea for ChipIn come from, and tell me more about Sean and Kate and how this initiative got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sean and Kate are great folks from Kentucky. They were the co-founders of PinSeeker. Do you remember PinSeeker, by the way? Have you used it?
I do, yeah. I've not used it. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
a long time since I've heard that name, but
Right. So they sold that to Foresight, or Revelist as they're called now, but they sold that a few, 2, 3 years ago themselves. So they were co-founders in that, as well as Rob. Rob stayed on with Foresight as I think he's their CTO now. And Sean and Kate kind of pursued a different direction. Sean, when he first approached me, we met I think at the PGA show, a little while back. And the idea was that he kind of said to me is he originally, when he launched PinSeeker, one of his kind of desires was really to create something that will do good for the world. And the idea was really kind of this combination of fintech, and gamification, and sort of that addictive nature of, I guess, betting in golf. and bring all together. And Pinsicker went in a particular direction and really didn't go down towards the philanthropic path. And so when he had that exit, he decided he wanted to build that philanthropy idea that he had all that time ago. And so him and Kate went off and they started building this concept, this startup. And it was really taking these, the fun games, like the Top Golf games, like Angry Birds or that kind of style, right? Where you're not really doing it because, you're trying to dial in your seminar, and you're doing it because you're having fun and you want to have fun and you're going to improve anyway and all of that. So it was taking that idea and that very big ambition and wanted to take it, very wide and far in the golf space. Golf, by the way, for those that don't know, and I say this with a level of surprise, some people might know this, because when they first came to me, I was like, I don't get it. Why philanthropy? And then I realized that golf, and Sean helped me kind of learn this, and Kate, the golf raises 6+ billion a year for philanthropy. So golf is about 10% of the money that's raised for philanthropy is done through golf, which is a crazy number. I mean, like this amazing sport that you and I love so much, but it actually does so much good. And I'm not sure people knew that or know that. I did not know that. And so, do you know it was such a big impact?
I had no idea. I mean, I know that there's a lot of fundraising that happens. I mean, we even do fundraising within the Golden State chapter of CMAA, and CMAA
Hmm.
nationally does work, and you see that. I mean, there's fundraising events all over the place, but didn't realize it was that big.
Exactly. And the other number that absolutely floored me when he was talking to me initially was there are, and the number varies, but it's between 500,000 and 800,000 golf charity scrambles a year in America. Those kind of numbers just blow my mind. And when we first started talking, him and Kate showed me this vision of what if we could take this off the course and bring it to everyone's home? What if we enabled anyone and everywhere to be able to play this? And Golf Trek was that avenue, right? Obviously, there's still Top Tracer Range there, and there's other partners we're talking to that can definitely give us scale, and we give them the ability to do something really amazing with their existing networks. But Golf Track enabled anyone to put a phone down, and obviously we can talk about how many improvements we've had in the last 2 years. But anyone could put a phone down. Like take the scouts. Take your local scout strip, right? Instead of selling cookies, you could set up a little net or even hit foam balls into a wall, at the clubhouse and invite the dads or the moms or both. And then, $30 a game, everyone plays and we fund the prize, right? So they could win a trip to Hawaii to play golf, up to Palm Springs. And the money, at least half the money is going to the local scout troop. There's obviously some, we cover the prize with some of it, and then we have our admin cost. But the great thing is that this is net new fundraising for these causes and charities, whether it's at that local level, like a local scout troop, or at a macro level, like some of the biggest charity names, in the nation.
So walk us through how ChipIn works. I mean, let's say that I'm brand new and I just downloaded the app. What happens? What happens next?
So you go to, let's say, chipin.golf, and you go, hey, there's a contest happening right now. And the contest may be the prize may be a trip to Palm Springs to play golf for a weekend, accommodation included, etc. Right? So say it's worth about $1,000, I don't know, 1,500. They vary, the prices vary. And it says you can enter this contest for as little as $30. So to enter the contest, you get given instructions, you download Golf Track. You put the Golf Track on a tripod. Let's say you don't even have a net at home. Let's say you don't even have a net. You just have, or you go to the local store, you get a foam ball, one of those little foam golf balls.
Oh yeah.
And so you connect Golf Track to ChipIn, and there's a little, you just log in and it's connected automatically. And at the moment, we have 3 games. And so you select one of the games, which is part of the contest, and all you got to do is, let's say a traditional game where you're hitting targets. So there's certain targets on the field, you hit targets, you get points, you get on the leaderboard, and they're usually pretty short, so they're fun. They're not super, you don't have to be an amazing golfer to score well. A bit like Top Golf, right? And you go and you hit a few shots, 6, 10 shots, you get points, you get on the leaderboard. If you win at the end of the month, let's say you win the prize. But all the money that's gone in, you select the cause you're playing for. So let's say you want to play American Cancer Society, you select that. the money goes there. You select your local Boy Scout troop, it goes there. We pay out to all of these charities through our fintech platform that we've built in-house. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm just thinking of all the different ways and the different charities, and I mean, it literally can be played anywhere. I don't have to be on a golf course. I can be in my living room as far as that's concerned.
Well, you can absolutely be in the living room, and this is we've done fun a bit of fun content. I know it's going to go on one of our socials, I'm sure. You can hit into like a glass window, because foam balls, right? Don't try it with the real balls, please. I'll never hear the end of it. And you can do all those things. You can be anywhere, and it's fun. It's not too serious, and that's an interesting thing. What we've noticed is when people do this for charity, they take it a little bit less seriously, and it's a lot more engaging, a lot more fun. And I mean, you've played in charity Scrabbles, I assume. We all have, right?
Oh, tons of them, yeah.
Right. And so it's imagine that and how much fun we have. I mean, minus the alcohol. Although, it's optional. You can do that if you want. But you're having that much fun, but in a very short, and these games are also they're not like playing 18 holes. They're like 5, 10 minute games. So you have this quick burst of fun. You have a little bit of a play, and then the money goes to a good cause, and you can win a prize. So that's kind of the loop. If I don't know if I've articulated it well to make it kind of clear, but it's a very easy process. It's very quick to set up and very easy to follow.
So let's say that I'm not wanting to participate in the game itself. Can I use chip in for free, or do I have to pay the $30 that you've mentioned to participate in one of the
That
games?
no, that's a great question. We actually have free play, so you can play all these games without having to put any money down. And that actually is a great time because one of the things we learned, when we first launched Golf Track, when we spoke last time, we were really bullish on the whole simulator integration and being able to play golf courses with like a traditional simulator. Obviously, having been in that space now for 15 years, A, that makes me sound old. B, it's really changed in those 15 years, and people, and myself included, don't have the time or, to be honest, desire to play full 18 holes. Not as much anyway. There's still people that do, obviously. But what we found is that when you give people an option to have these 5, 10 minute games, we get way more engagement, way more desire to play that than like a round of 18 holes. Have you ever observed that? Have anyone shared that sort of with you before?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I love playing what I call an E9, an emergency nine, but the club that I'm at now has a little place where you can play 3 holes and you're back at the clubhouse. So just go out after work and play 3 holes and be on my way. So you don't have to play 18 holes to enjoy the game.
Exactly. And so that's what we found, especially with our target audience, which is really a lot wider than the avid golfer. Of course, avid golfers are, the bread and butter of most golf companies, right? But we are trying to, out of the 50 million people that play golf, we want to appeal to 50 million people. And we do that by giving multiple options. But we have found that a lot of people, especially more beginner golfers, they don't want to play 18 holes, virtually. They want to have fun games. And the great benefit of that is as they're having fun, they're improving anyway. And so they naturally get this side benefit of this fun, engaging game by actually improving their golf, which makes them happy, makes them come back, and it grows the game, which is, something you and I talked a lot about last time and continue to talk about as we go. Like that's what we're here for, to grow this game in this amazing new way with all this cool new technology we've got at our fingertips.
So I download the app and I'm starting to use it. What kind of hardware? I mean, do I just need my phone? You talk about the launch monitor. I need a laptop, a simulator. What kind of equipment do I need to be able to fully embrace this technology?
So the most sophisticated piece of equipment you need, because if you already have an iPhone, which we're on iPhones, the most sophisticated bit of technology you're going to need is a tripod, and a fairly small one at that. So it can't be too tall, because the phone kind of sits behind you. So the phone sits a driver length behind you, looking down the line of where you're hitting the ball. And so you need a tripod, and then you need to play these games. Obviously, that's just to use Golf Track, and then to play the chip-in games, you need a browser. So you have an old, crappy iPad, no problem. You got a laptop that barely runs, no problem. As long as it can open a browser, you can play chip and games. And so you need those two things. And some people, they project into a screen. Some people have it to the side and they have a net. We've had so many different. I mean, I wish I could show you some of the image. I mean, we have people playing in some of the most creative, hitting to mattresses, into curtains, in all sorts of makeshift. Um, setups as such, which is great, which is perfect because that's our goal is to enable people to play with anything and anywhere.
So there is this company called the Back Nine. Have you heard of these indoor simulators?
Oh yeah, there's a back nine. There's actually there's one called Golf Track with a TRK. I met them at a golf pitching competition where we become friends. I actually just spoke to the founder yesterday. So it's a bit of a similar name to us, but yeah, there's quite a few now.
Yeah, so they just opened one here in Rancho Mirage, and it's got four indoor simulators, super exclusive. He limited the number of memberships. So I can imagine taking ChipIn, going in there. I'm playing Pebble Beach on the simulator, and I'm playing ChipIn on my phone. Is that something that I could set up?
It's it's funny you say that. I was at an indoor place over in Mississippi recently, and same question. They go, TrackMan. It's like, could I do this? Could I? Absolutely, you can. And the cool thing is, we don't have to integrate with TrackMan or Foresight or Unicore or FlightScope or whatever, right? You just put your phone down. You can do your own thing as you do on the screen, but you're just adding this extra layer of fun, and you just have the browser running, on the side, and just have fun and play for free or do some good and put some money towards a cause that you're passionate about.
Well, the beauty of the Back Nine is it's the only 24-hour indoor facility in Rancho Mirage. I don't know if it's a good idea to go have a couple of beers and then go over there at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock or midnight to play golf, but we'll see what happens this summer.
Hey, by the way, do you happen to know the first person to open a 24/7 golf venue in the world? I
I,
mean,
I don't.
do you know? Really? Are you sure you don't? Because I think you do.
Let me guess, you.
I opened one in 2016.
No way.
Yeah. And you're not going to believe the name. Do you know what the name was?
I feel bad I don't. I should.
It was called 24/7 Golf.
Oh, so clever. That's awesome. Well,
So
as
yeah, I
far
know I know a thing or two about those 24 golf centers, you know. But yeah, they've come a long way in the last 10 years, I can tell you that.
well, ChipIn uses that golf track technology, and that's obviously a part of your involvement with this. And speaking of the technology and how far technology has come, and the simulators as well, how accurate is it when it's tracking my shot? I mean, if it says that I hit a 7 iron 137 yards, I hit my 7 iron 150. I don't hit it 137. So how accurate is the technology today?
So I mean, this is the oldest question. I've been in this industry for 15 years, and that question has been around for 15 years, probably longer. Um, So we test all of our we collect thousands and thousands and thousands of shots, testing against best of breed kind of indoor technology, which is mostly the Foresight products. So GC3, GC Quad, etc. We focus on the main points that so we measure ball speed, launch angle, the vertical launch angle, horizontal launch angle, and we obviously we get people to select what club they use, which helps us calculate all the other parameters, and we also track the club path, in out, the square, etc., to get the shape of the shot. In terms of speed, we're within 5% of a GC quad. So $20,000 device versus a phone, cameras on your phone, and obviously the difference between the new 17 Pro Max phone and like a iPhone 12 is significant. It's a couple of points. So the new phones are better, but overall, you are getting within a 5% experience. And there's always people that think they hit it longer, they hit it shorter. There's all of that. Ultimately, across average, we're 5% of ball speed, even close on some of those metrics that we calculate, like distance. In terms of angles, it's like half a degree. It's spin. People talk a lot about spin. We calculate spin based on the data parameters, and we're generally plus or minus like 700 RPM on any club, even the driver. So the way that the AI can calculate and predict some of these data points is quite amazing these days. Especially, we do it in a fraction of a second. It's all done on device, and so the technology is accurate. Is it accurate enough for a PGA Pro? Is it accurate enough for a low single-digit handicapper? Maybe not. Maybe for those folks, they need to invest in something, like a dedicated piece of hardware. But I think anyone over 10, 8 to 10 handicap, it's perfect. It's definitely on par with devices that are, the sub sort of $2,000 devices that are on the market. It's pretty, if you look at all of those, they're also, some of them are, within 5%, some of them, even more, but ballpark around there. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I go to again to the back nine, and I crush a driver, and it goes 222, and I'm like, I swung out of my shoes. I know it goes farther than that, but I don't know. I want it to be accurate, and I'm glad that the technology is growing. Do you think it will ever get to the point that a guy like a Tiger Woods can hit balls on the simulator and it be exact to what he's going to see on the driving range?
Well, I mean, I don't think TGL would exist if that wasn't the case. I think it's pretty much there. We all often forget, and I'm a mid single handicap. I know that I always think I can carry a 270 260 kind of hazard, whatever, and I always end up in the damn hazard because my ambition is greater than my skill. I think that we often look at the 1 in 10 bad shots, and we forget that nine of them were really damn good in terms of even the accuracy, because no device is ever going to be perfect, but they're going to be pretty close. And I guess the other thing that's interesting is really to think about what are you using it for. So you just and I love that you brought up this point, because I think a lot of listeners will have this thought process where I've gone to this venue, I've paid money to be a member, and let's say, as you said, like it's gone to 22, but you're like, I'm pretty sure I hit a 240, 250, right? The question I guess I'm going to ask is, well, what are you there to do? Right. So let me ask you, like, when you
Have
go, like,
fun.
what
I'm
what
there to have
what what do
fun.
you go to have fun, right?
Yeah.
So I often go to have fun too. I don't find myself dialing in distances like a PGA Pro would, like a tour player or whatever. I go to try to kind of solve some of the bad shots, the bad misses. And so I find that accuracy, when you have fun, the more fun you have, there's like an inverse relationship to accuracy and fun. It's not so much that you don't care if it's accurate or not. We all do. It's the 1 in 10, one in whatever, that's like, that doesn't seem quite right. Across averages, it doesn't make that much difference. And especially if you're having fun, it makes even less difference. Does that make sense? Would you agree, or do you think you'd go through a different process?
Yeah, I mean, so let's go back to the back nine. So a few months ago, I was playing. We were playing Pebble Beach, and it's funny that I mentioned that earlier. And I've never had a hole in one in real life, but I made a hole in one on that wonderful par three that Pebble Beach is known for. And now for the rest
Must
of
not be must
time,
not be accurate then. Must not be accurate.
hey, I got to tell you though, so it was 107 yards, and I didn't hit the club that I would normally hit 107 yards. I went one club up and then swung softer. Hey, I don't care. The whole it went in. I made an ace, kinda. And I wonder though, like, so for the rest of the time, if I'm talking to somebody about making a hole in one, I've got a story. Like I've made an ace, but not really. I don't know. Does it count? It's on a sim.
Did you celebrate?
I mean, yeah, I took a picture and had a drink. Good time.
Then it
Yeah,
counts.
it counts. Let's
Listen, it's
go.
you know what? It counts as the virtual hole in one, which is it's different. It's like a different category. So you need to have one in the real world, and you need to have one in the virtual one. I have not had one in either. So I see. I'm jealous, even though it's virtual. There you
So let's
go.
you and me go play Pebble Beach. And how cool would that be if when I play Pebble Beach that I make an ace on the actual hole that I made an ace on the sim? Now that would be a story.
Absolutely, absolutely. To give you a different analogy, I like motorsport. I know we're going down a little rabbit hole here, but go with me for a moment, right? I used to love motorsport a lot more. That we got too expensive, which is how I ended up in golf, because I picked up golf because I couldn't afford to repair these cars I was racing. Um, but I also used to have a really crazy racing simulator. And then this is back in Australia, and when I moved to the US, I sold it. And then a friend of mine invited me to go to the Nürburgring. For those that don't know, Nürburgring is the scariest, most complicated race circuit in the world. It's in Germany, 123 turns, I think, like 12-mile circuit. It's crazy. And I was like, it is the scariest circuit in the world. I'm like, how am I gonna learn this thing before I go there? And so I bought a steering wheel on Amazon, and I connected. I bought a PlayStation, or maybe I borrowed my son's. I can't remember. And then I got one of the games that had the Nürburgring on the course, and I would play it, and I would race it over and over for about 3 months before we went to Germany. And it was an interesting thing, because if you look at the forums, a lot of people talk about, it's not accurate. Look at this elevation's not right. This corner is not right. And you know what? They're right. Like, it's not as accurate as doing the real thing. But my God, if I didn't do that, I would have crashed in probably the second corner. It gave me so much baseline, I guess, like skill to be able to handle these 123 corners, at least at the baseline, and it was absolutely invaluable. But it's interesting when you talk to people, there's some that also talk about accuracy of racing sims, but the skill that most people pick up in those is so far, I guess, beyond any conversation about accuracy that it doesn't matter. No one really, no, there's a very, very, very small percentage of people talk about accuracy. And I wonder if a similar thing is actually happening in golf, because I think as more and more people are using simulators and launch monitors, I think this whole accuracy thing is becoming less, maybe less relevant to because just the number of people that are participating in that. Did you see those stats from the National Golf Foundation around just how many people are playing off-course golf?
No, I didn't, but I'm sure it's growing.
I think it's actually finally overtaken on-course golf. That happened in Korea. I remember when it was big news, maybe 7 years ago. It happened in Korea. It was such big news here, but now in the US, it's off-course golf has overtaken on-course golf, which is brilliant. It means more people are participating.
Well, chip in is 100% skill based. Can you explain exactly what that means?
Well, it's when you're putting money on any games, you've got to be really careful with regulation around betting. And one of the clear things with that is that if it's a game of skill, you don't have to. It doesn't go under the regulation around sports betting on any of those kind of things. And so that's a great benefit to us to be able to take this concept to so many charities and causes, because it means that we don't have to, and they don't have to, get any kind of permission or any kind of permits to be able to do that because it's a game of skill. And so it's purely game of skill. You get points based on your performance. There's no technically there's no chance. I mean, when I hit a ball, like there's a chance it'll go, in the water, which is pretty high chance. So there's definitely probability of that. But in terms of actual, score, there is no. It's not like a lottery, which is, like if you do raffle, those raffles. Sometimes you buy the tickets for the raffles,
Right.
right
I
there.
mean, that's all chance. I have no idea if I'm going to win.
That's all chance. So to do even a small raffle, you need to have permits. And so by being a game of skill and using golf as our vehicle, which is brilliant, it means that we are accessible to everyone anywhere at any time, no matter where geography, and that's a great thing to have kind of in our pocket to just be able to reach more people.
Well, is it a handicapped type of situation? Like, am I playing against other players in some of these games, or is it all just me against the game?
It's just you against the game, and if you're obviously really, 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 really good, you will probably end up at the top of the scoreboard. But for example, one of our games, it's called Rocket Ricochet. It's you're kind of hitting against these rocks, and you can be Tiger Woods, but you might still not be able to quite beat a kid if they can figure out exactly how to hit it in the right spot of the rock to get the best score. So there's different tips, different levels of skill, I guess, that are needed for different games.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Red Rock because I saw that on the website. It looked pretty fun. But what other games are there, and are you looking to add more to the library and keep that
Oh
growing?
yeah.
Or yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, these are just our starting games. I plan to add a game a month or thereabouts. As we start scaling, we want to have more games. We have people giving us feedback on kind of games they want. We want to be unique. We want people to be able to come to Chip In and do something they can't really do somewhere else in terms of like have fun. And that can take different forms. Chipping games. Eventually we might have putting games. But most people, to be like again, easy one. We were looking at putting games, but the overwhelming feedback we got was people were not that interested. They wanted, I don't like, for example, another game that people are not that interested in is long drive. There's a lot of charity scrambles that have a long drive. Most people don't feel like they can ever win it, and so their interest level in those games is quite low. We want to create games where everyone can feel like they have a chance. So not only they're going to have fun, but they have a chance to actually end up at the top of the leaderboard. And I think that's really important to give people a reason to engage. What do you think?
Yeah, I dig that. And like, I'm not going to win a long drive contest, and maybe I get lucky and win it closest to the pin. But I like that the games are different, they're unique, and just it's fun. Like that's I keep going back to that. Like it doesn't have the stuffy, pretentious vibe that some golf events might have, and I dig that.
Totally agree. And it doesn't have the seriousness of playing like full holes, which you can like look, here's a reality. Like if you want to do that, you can go to back nine, you can go to, any of these indoor centers and you can do that. But what do you do when you just want to have five, like you said, the three holes at your club, right? Three, a quick 10-minute fix. You just want a quick fix. A bit of fun, swing some clubs with a ball, and just get that little fix. I think that is really the next frontier in golf engagement. Not just for us, but I think that we may be kind of spearheading a something that's going to take the golf world by storm.
Well, you've talked about winning prizes, and what kind of prizes are available, and how are the winners determined in these games?
So there are points, different points for the different results that you get in the game. So as you hit shots, you get points. There's a monthly, weekly, whatever leaderboard. The winner at the end of the contest is the winner. It's not just the winner though. There's prizes for like second, third, etc. So each contest is a little bit different. The bigger the prize, the entry fee to the contest, the bigger the prize. Generally, that's how it works. And the prizes, we've got some partners. We're actually looking for more. So if you have any listeners that have some great opportunities to be prizes, to be able to supply prizes to these things, we'd love to chat. But we have some partners that provide amazing experiences like golf trips or those kind of experiences. There's pretty standard win a driver, brand new driver, new putter, a sleeve of balls, a pack of balls, whatever. Golf, all golf related. But we want to have a real range of prizes eventually and have some great golf prizes that everyone will be interested in. So not necessarily only avid golfers. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I think that we do a lot of fundraising within the Golden State chapter of CMAA, and we have a virtual auction each year. And yeah, we all look at getting golf trips and golf rounds, but we're looking at more fun things like whether it's a wine tasting or an education, and it just
Right.
thinking of things that are different than what you're normally used to giving and
Especially
winning.
experiences, like I mean, how many golf bags can you win? How many, I mean, new drivers, like it's not fitted, it's this, what like might be the wrong length, it might be the wrong shaft. So we actually found it's funny you say that, like the wine tasting, like it's definitely experiences where we are seeing the most kind of engagement. That's what people want. Something unique and something experiential that they can stay with them for a long time and not just kind of clutter their golf closet.
Talk a little bit more about the fundraising side of Chip In and how that works for the charities that are involved.
So a great one is, I mean, we're currently in a lot of talks with golf scrambles, and I'll explain you the kind of the flow, and hopefully you have sort of similar aha moment that I had when I first realized the potential of this. So you go to a golf charity scramble, it's on a single day. You get 120, sometimes you get 80, but let's go, 100, 120 people there. You might have a pro that does beat the pro. You might have a golf cannon that does, gives you a 400-yard drive on a par five. And you put money down on the day. And typically a charity or a cause, if they're lucky, they'll get 50% of the takings from the day. Usually it's a lot less. And I actually know some golf scrambles that we've spoken to that don't make any money at all on the scramble. It just re-engages people, and so they give throughout the year. But it's a hard job to organize a scramble and really to raise some positive cash flow out of that for the charity. So it's on a single day. So what we do is we say, hey, imagine if you could take the people that you invite to your scramble, but you give them an opportunity to give money to your cause or charity for 90 days every day before the scramble, or 180 days, or in fact the entire year. And we give all of these charities that opportunity. When you use ChipIn and GolfTrack for a scramble, they take the ChipIn and GolfTrack solution, kind of the games, the fun, the cause, all of that to their constituents, and they can participate for that charity any day in their, in their home with friends, by themselves, on a driving range, in a park, on a golf course, anywhere, at the back nine, or wherever. And so we give a charity an ability or a cause to kind of double what they can take on a single day of their charity scramble. And that's been really exciting. And having conversations with scramble organizers, it's been sort of these crazy aha moments where like, oh, wow, we can really not just engage, but to be truly proactive with their constituents who want to contribute to the cause. We give them an opportunity to do so anywhere and any time, not just on the day of the scramble.
Well, it's cool that you're working with so many different charities and organizations, but let's say that there's one that's near and dear to my heart or one that I normally donate to on an annual basis and they're not currently involved. Is there an easy way to getting a charity like that involved? And can I suggest a new cause or a charity
Absolutely.
for fundraising? Yeah,
We've
good.
we've got all that, and in fact, you've I mean, I've never done a marathon or half marathon or even like a 1/10 of a marathon. But we're getting personal here. So let me zoom out. So some people do these marathons and they say, hey, can you sponsor me? Give me $10, or whatever. They send out an email. Have you ever participated in one like that?
So I've completed a half, and I have goals of completing a full marathon, but it's a very unique one. And as John McCarthy, the head golf professional at the Lakes Country Club, when I worked there, said that's the most Ricky Potts thing I've ever heard. So don't know if I'm gonna do it when I'm gonna do it. It wasn't this year. The race is in June. If I start and finish, I'm not trying to win. I don't care if I'm last place. It's just a matter of starting and finishing. But no,
Right.
long answer to the question because it makes me think that June's
No,
gonna be here before I know it.
right, but you people sometimes do that and they send out, hey, I'm doing it for a cause. Please support me by donating to the cause, and they send out like an email, and there's like a GoFundMe or whatever. So we have that ability in Chip In. So you can set up a similar little an event, or you can set up your own cause, and then you can invite people to play that cause. It's called peer-to-peer giving. And with that ability, you can have all your friends participate. You set up the charity yourself, and the money goes to this charity. So everyone has the ability to bring on because we want people to bring the causes that they're passionate about. Because if they're passionate about a particular cause, they will participate, and their friends will participate. So it can be global, like the big charities. But I think if I was a betting man, I would say that most people will feel a lot more connection to something that's truly local and dear to their heart. And so I hope that a lot of people, like you just said, will come and suggest their causes or their charities to chip in and keep adding to the list. And my God, there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of causes and charities in America and worldwide. And we would love to be able to be part of all of them.
So I'm assuming that everyone is remote, but has ChipIn got a headquarters somewhere, or is everybody just working from home? I mean, you're all over
Well,
the place. You're in Australia, you're in
we're a bit
Texas.
all over the place. Yeah, we do have an office. We actually have an office in Kentucky in Louisville. But I'm in Dallas. There's a team in Kentucky, there's a team in Florida. We've got a team in Australia, in Bali, in Vietnam, in India, in even in Armenia. So we are we're an international, multinational, multicultural, all of those things.
Well, what about some conversations with some PGA or LPGA players, any influencers, content creators? Have you thought about partnering with any of them to help spread the word about ChipIn?
We've had some really great conversations with a couple where I'm good friends with Leo, the connected golfer, um, over in Florida, and he's given us some great ideas. So we've just, I mean, it's amazing. There's so little time and so much to do, as every other startup. But even with a team of almost 20 or 20 plus people, we just find that yeah, there's more we could be doing. I think our next big phase are content creators. So again, if there are any listening that would like to participate in this charity and cause and philanthropy, we please reach out. Please reach out to us because we want people to come to us as well, and we will be reaching out to our favorite content creators and influencers and trying to partner because I think. Look, to be honest, and you tell me if I'm wrong on this. Like, I don't know anyone else that's really doing this in philanthropy. I think we're maybe the first, and yeah, because I just don't know. Have you come across anything like this?
No, and I think that that's what's so neat. Like, I mean, just you and me have been connected for a long time, and just everything that you do, I follow, and everything that you post, and I maybe don't engage with everything, but I'm following you closely, and anything that you're involved with is always successful. So it's just a matter of time before this becomes a worldwide phenomenon.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Well,
But
AI,
we
I mean,
hope.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, I was just saying we hope that this has an appeal like nothing else has kind of in the past because there are plenty of launch monitors, there are plenty of golf simulators, there's plenty of there's software, there's this and that. But I think with even with like content creators, being able to do content and be involved in philanthropy while you create content, just bring that example to your question earlier, I just find that so enticing. I'm just it just makes me really excited, and I hope it'll make a lot of people excited.
AI is still a buzzword. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's not like it's new, but it's all everybody's talking about. But is AI playing a role in chip-in, and do you see it becoming a part of the platform in the future?
I mean, AI is the so what most people kind of don't fully maybe understand. I mean, none of us truly understand is AI has a lot of different angles. So Golf Track is a pure AI play because we use computer vision. Computer vision is a subset of AI, a very important one. If you have a Tesla and you have self-drive, that's computer vision. All the robotics that are coming out, that's computer vision. A lot of it is computer vision. And so we have a whole full AI team that uses and creates the latest and greatest in terms of algorithms. So we're definitely using it in Golf Track side. We are using it in terms of just being able to hone our messaging and hone our processes with ChipIn. But from a tech point of view, it's definitely heavily leaned on in Golf Track, and it's been having even like AI chips in phones. There's now dedicated AI chip in all the new iPhones. Just having that on board has been a bit of a game changer in terms of what we can put through these phones at such lightning speed. It's amazing. I'm excited to see what comes out next month or the month after in terms of the latest iPhones, the latest chips. I'm sure there's going to be a next level improvement, and it's just not stopping.
You talk about full self-drive. I use it every day. I trust it 1,000% that I'm going to trust it until it tells me not to. But never in my life would I think I'd be driving down the highway at 75 miles an hour and not paying a bit of attention and calm, cool, collected, and at peace. It's incredible what FSD can do.
It is, and it's really fun taking people for their first ever FSD drive, and just watching them just be in absolute awe. We went. I took some friends out. We went to the World Cup game. Watched the Socceroos. Unfortunately, we lost. That was very sad. But we drove for it was about a 35 minute drive to the AT&T Stadium, and I had some friends in the back. And just I did not touch the wheel or the pedals the entire way from my house to the stadium, it to the car park. It was crazy, and watching people for the first time. Oh, that's just special. I wish I could just film that. That would be fun. It'd be fun. That would be a fun YouTube channel.
It would
First
be,
time
and
reaction.
it's funny that you talk about not touching the wheel. So I had the opportunity a few months ago to speak on AI at the Beach Club. Tony Shibayama invited me to come down there and speak, and part of my presentation was on FSD, and I drove from Palm Desert, California to downtown Los Angeles and did not touch the steering wheel once, and it was, I mean, over 100 miles, and it's spectacular. And it now parks, so the most recent update will you can actually have it park at your destination. I've even trained the car, and you have the ability to do that over time. I've trained the car to park in my garage. So I literally have a garage door opener that automatically opens when the car is approaching the garage, and it parks
Yeah, I got
itself
that.
in the garage. Like it's
Oh, okay.
unbelievable.
Wow, I haven't done the garage thing. Do you have to give it treats when it does a good job? How does it
I
work?
should. No, I'm not even kidding. I sometimes will like tap the steering wheel and be like, "Good boy." That's awesome. Give it
Yeah,
treats.
I think when we know we're in the true age of AI, when we have like polite conversations with our like cars or robots, like I don't know if you talk to your vacuum cleaner or whatever. It's an interesting world we live in, but I think AI is making its way into golf and more, and it's interesting to see kind of the different use cases. I'm excited to see some of the AI stuff happen around data overlays and being able to, one of the things I've always wanted was to have like a caddy that can kind of help me on the course so that I can stop doing stupid things. And I'm kind of looking at, I want my AI to basically yell at me. when I'm on the golf course and tell me what to do. So I'm looking forward to that.
ChipIn has a great Instagram presence. What kind of content are you sharing over there, and who's sharing that, and how do you keep it fresh and engaging?
Well, we like to keep things a bit lighthearted. So we do have a team that we're both in the US and actually in Australia. We drive a lot of our content from these two countries in terms of where our teams are based with background and content creation. We like to keep it lighthearted and fun and engaging, a bit silly sometimes, but also just showing that it doesn't, yeah, our voice is fun. Like that's the whole purpose of what we are. Like the philanthropy is a great way to, give people a reason, an even better reason to enjoy themselves and have fun with golf. And so our content is really so much around that having fun with golf while doing something good.
Maybe you have, but I could definitely see this on the showroom floor at the PGA show. Thoughts of taking this to Orlando and showing it off?
Well, look, it's funny. They just emailed me. I have exhibited there a few times, and they've just emailed me like, "Oh, we're fully booked, but if you'd like, you can put your name down for the, for what do you call it, the waiting list." Look, maybe we definitely will be. Or I'll probably be there, like I have been for the last 6 or 7 years. Um, I think that we are trying to reach a very wide audience, especially both in the industry and also outside the industry. As in what I mean is as players, not just people that work in the industry. And so we're not sure if we're going to be exhibiting as such, but we'll definitely be hanging around and catching up. So you better give me a call if you're there. We'll grab a coffee.
I won't be there. That's the middle of our season. We only have a short season here. I mean, we open in November and close in April. So the CMAA World Conference always happens in February too, and next year it's the 100th anniversary in
Oh
Chicago.
wow,
Now, here's my thing with that. I said February and Chicago in the same sentence, so not sure I'm going to be making it to the Chicagoland area next year, but pretty cool that CMAA is celebrating 100 years, and
it's
just
amazing.
that's just awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if someone is playing and has questions or runs into an issue or just gets stuck, what kind of customer support is available?
So we actually, we pride ourselves, and I wanted to create. I don't remember if we spoke about this 2 years ago. I definitely had the ambition, but even back then, when I was in the launch monitor space, I felt that there's too much self-help that you had to do to be good at using the product. YouTube, there's lots of videos, and people were very much. It was very what do you call it? DIY, right? Help. I wanted to create a company where we would be known for great customer service. And so we set that out and we have a team that every day, which we I mean, I would say 90% of the days we end up with zero tickets at the end of the day. So we have a team that's dedicated. You can do live chat, you can email. We don't we, you can yeah, In fact, I encourage people, like, tell me if you know another app in the App Store where we have a button in the app where you can book a session with me, the founder of the company. And we encourage people to book time because I want to talk to our customers. We have a 50-minute slot, and I've had amazing conversations with customers on a Zoom call, or Zoom or Meet, Google Meets, whatever. And it's been eye-opening for me to have such a great close connection to customers. And the customers themselves tell me like they've never seen an app where you can do that. And Launch Monitor, I don't think any other Launch Monitor allows for this. And so that's been our culture. And so we've built a place where everyone participates in helping customers. And I would say that based on the feedback that I've heard from our customer base, that we've definitely achieved that vision of being able to provide support in real time when people need it, as well as offline. But I really want to be there when people need it most, which is when they're using it. If they have a problem, there's literally a chat inside the app that you can jump on and get some help.
We've covered a lot of stuff today. I mean, it's been so great catching up with you again, but is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you'd like to let our listeners know?
Look, I think the main thing I'd like your listeners to do is to jump on chipin.golf, check out the charities, check out the contests that are available. Think of what cause or charity they would like to help by participating in this, and the money going to that charity or cause. I think that's really the biggest ask that I have is for them to, for everyone listening, what are you passionate about? Which philanthropic cause is going to make you take action? And come to chipin.golf and take that action first. And let's help you and the cause of charity achieve something great. And that would be an amazing thing to do.
Where is the best place to learn more about this, to get started? Just go to the App Store, the website, maybe you have a
Yeah,
newsletter. Like, where do we go?
we to go to the website, chipin.golf, golftrack.app. If you want to connect with me personally, big on LinkedIn, as you know, I'm sure. But I do answer. Everyone sends me a message, so please reach out. But chipin.golf is the best site to go to see what we're doing, all the latest and greatest. Sign up for over there for the newsletter. Reach out to us. Think of a charity. If you think a charity could benefit, put us in touch with them. You know what? Send them an email, CC us, CC our support email, and we would love to participate and help them out and help them grow.
I'm going to connect you to a buddy of mine who has survived skin cancer, and he has a huge event that's growing like a weed, and it sells out every year here in the Coachella Valley. He has another one that he's rolling out later this year and next year, and I think that this just to connect the two of you, I'll do that for sure. I think that there's a lot of value there.
I would love that. And listen, at your club, and of course, I'm sure there are lots of scrambles that happen there. Um, Introduce us. Please say, hey, these guys are doing something truly unique in the golf space. And just an introduction. I have not spoken to a single charity scramble or a golf event that does scrambles or charity scrambles that have said, nah, I'm not interested in raising more money. Haven't come across that yet. So any introductions to those, we are all ears.
Let's you and me tee it up soon. Where are we playing? Your place, my place? I mean, you want to do a home and a home? Where are we going?
Well, I haven't been to Palm Springs yet, so let me look at some flights and
You haven't been to Palm Springs ever? Oh my God, we got
ever.
120 golf courses here. Let's
I,
go.
I live on a golf course. It takes something special to get me out there, but I've heard good things, so it's on my list, man. Let me look at some flights and we'll make it happen.
Well, just so you know, it's about 120 degrees outside right now. So it was 118 the other day. I got to my car and good thing the Tesla allows it to cool down
Oh
upon
yeah.
my arrival. That's the best. That might be the outside of the full self-drive. I think that might be the best feature of that car.
I agree with you. I'm in Dallas, Texas. It's not quite 120, but it's still over 100 the last few days. Being able to cool your car down 100%. And yeah, I didn't say I'm coming now. I'm gonna come,
Oh,
a
okay,
little bit
okay.
later. A
Yeah, okay.
little bit later. Give me a few months.
Well, leaders
Let me
are
settle in.
readers. I asked you the same thing a couple years ago, but what book are you currently reading?
So funny enough, I've gone back to a book. Actually, Sean gifted me a book on my last trip when we had a little meeting, which is Zero to One by Peter Thiel. And it's really it's been an amazing read of I kind of read it or maybe I listened to the audiobook before, but it's just it's kind of tickled something in my in the back of my mind that's been sitting there and it's been growing and giving me the ability to take massive ambition to this idea of Chipin and Golf Track, the mission we want to bring with this particular vision. And yeah, that's been a really a great read. So I highly recommend that.
So I'm going to go back and I'm going to check your work here, but who's in your dream foursome and where are you playing?
Hold on. I think I asked you this last time. Do they have to be alive or
No, they
I
can
can't
be
remember.
anybody. It's your dream, baby. Whatever you want to
So
do.
it's my dream. Okay, it's my dream. So Cam Smith is always number one. I think we're still there. I love that guy. He's so cool. Um, I have a new one to add. Haaland, the Norwegian football player, soccer. He's apparently a mad golfer, so he's on my list now because he's cool. Quite like him. Um, I mean, I can't go past Tiger Woods. I mean, I don't think you really can. And you know what? I don't know. I think maybe Charles Barkley. I'm gonna Michael Jordan or Charles. No, Michael Jordan. Let's go Michael Jordan. I'd love to play with him. I'd love to bet some money up, with him. I know he likes to bet big, so I probably can't keep up with his bets. But hey, it's my dream, right?
It's your dream, so I'm going to let you play as five. That's fine. Well, we're going to talk about Tiger. We talked about him before. We're going to keep talking about him until he tells me to stop. But he's tied with Sam Snead with 82 official PGA Tour wins. He doesn't clip that car a few months ago. He is playing in the Masters this year, and he was your Ryder Cup captain. But I think he's back. I think he's working towards playing again. All that said, and I'm going to check your work on this one too. But do you think he gets one more win before he retires? It doesn't need to be a major. I'm done talking about Jack. One more tour win.
So look, I'm going to say two things here. One is, has no one told Tiger about full self-drive?
Why
Like,
is
come
he
on.
not only that, drive a tank? Like he likes to drive himself. Drive it literally. Go, you have the money, Tiger.
Why
Drive a
would you
tank.
drive yourself? Why would you drive yourself? It baffles me. Tiger, can you please call us and tell us? Like, none of us understand this. So that's the first. So worst case, like full self drive. Second, you can afford a driver, a private driver that is always there for you. Just get a driver. Um, in terms of, I think he's got it in him. It's not going to be a major. I don't think he's going to do that. I think that's gone. But I think one of his favorite events or something like that. I think there can be. I just feel there's one more in him.
I just need him to be able to get to 83, and that I think is more important to me than the majors. Yeah, the majors are important. He's got 15. It's not like he has three. And I think that we talk about, is he the GOAT? I'm done asking that. He is, and I'm sorry, but the guy could sneeze, and I'm interested. So good answer. I think that he's got, and when he's done, when he doesn't think that he can win again, he will tell us, and he will go off into the sunset and do whatever he's going to do. But I don't think he's there yet.
Well, I hope he buys a full self-driving Tesla truck to drive into the sunset.
Well, see,
Because I
here's the
think
thing. Like, yeah, he can afford to pay somebody to drive him. I'll pay him to drive him. Like, Tiger, I'll give you $100. Where you want to go? Like, jump in the car.
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna put you in, wrap you in bubble wrap. Like, come on.
Exactly. I agree with you. I agree.
Well, what's next? What's
Yeah.
next for you and for ChipIn?
Well, for ChipIn, we need to grow the difference that we're making. We need to get out there and we need to connect with lots of causes and charities and help these charities, raise more money, but also get those charities to reach out to their constituents and tell their constituents about ChipIn and Golf Track. And that way we can all team up together to do great things. So we're looking at scaling this. Our ambition is to be able to contribute, over $1 billion to philanthropy a year. And we're not going to stop until we get there. So we got, we want to be a philanthropic unicorn. And I don't know if anyone's ever said those words in that way, but we are saying it right now. Philanthropic unicorn.
I'm literally envisioning that logo too. That's great.
Yeah, man.
Step into the heart of Scotland with Eden Mill Scotland Experiences. Journey through the art of craft distilling, where tradition meets innovation. From blending your own gin to savoring the finest whiskies, every moment is a celebration of Scotland's rich heritage. Whether you're a whiskey enthusiast, a gin lover, or simply an adventurer at heart, Eden Mill offers experiences you'll never forget. Book your journey today and create memories to last a lifetime.
In golf, the 19th hole is a slang term for a bar or a restaurant on or near the golf course. It's very often in the clubhouse itself. You've got offices all over the world, so pick one of those. Let's go. But what is your favorite 19th hole and what are you drinking?
So I've really become an old-fashioned kind of guy. And the one of the bartenders here at my club at the Lakes at Castle Hills has this special twist. I don't know what he does, but it's just really good old-fashioned. And so actually, I really love my club. Love hanging out there. The main reason is great people. Whenever I go, even if I go by there by myself, grab an old-fashioned, maybe a cigar, maybe a Cohiba number five, which is my favorite, and just hang out there. It's such great people that I will have to say, despite being all over the world, being able to go to all these different bars, that one keeps me coming back because just the connections I've made there have been amazing, and it's one of the reasons we moved from Australia back to the US, back to the same neighborhood we were in before, because I still had my membership, and I'm glad I never let it go. It's really awesome. So if anyone's in Dallas and they want to play at the lakes and check out this cool joint, just reach out to me, and that goes for you as well.
I tell you what, we talk about playing golf, home and home. When you get out here to Palm Desert, let's go play my old the lakes, and then I'll come visit you and we'll play your the lakes. Now, how cool is that?
That is cool. We'll do
Let's
the
go.
lakes tour.
Well, man, I just thank you so much for doing this. I mean, it's so much fun, and I love what you're doing, and it was great to reconnect. And I love seeing everything that you're doing in the golf space, and keep up the great work. And who knows, maybe in a couple of years, and August of 2028, 2 more years from now, we'll get you back on the show to talk about your next big golf adventure.
Let's call that episode the philanthropic unicorn, and so we'll be there by then, and then we'll talk about what comes next. That sounds. Thank you.
I gotta tell you this real quick. So my buddy Dr. Rob Bell has a podcast. He was episode 500 of this podcast. He's a dear friend of mine. His podcast, the Mental Toughness Podcast, is incredible, and he says that every episode of his that he does, somewhere in the conversation, the title of the episode is released, and mine doesn't have that same flow. But I tell you what, if it did, you just name this episode with you and your unicorns, my friend.
There you go. Let's go. I like that. Yeah. You know what? I give you full permission to do that. But hey, listen, thank you for having me back. Thanks for the great conversations and the great work you do with the guests you bring on board and the conversation you have. It's awesome. I think this golf world is such a cool place to be in, and I'm honored to be sharing this little corner of the golf world with you. So I look forward to 2028.
That puts this instalment of the Wednesday Match Play podcast in the books. But we'll be back next week for another exciting episode of the show.